Yesterday at E3, we had a Microsoft conference followed by a Bethesda conference, and I'm going to be giving kind of a recap, a highlight of the events yesterday. Obviously, the biggest recap of E3 yesterday was Keanu Reeves surprisingly being introduced as part of Cyberpunk and stuff. Him coming out on stage was just incredible. Him interacting with the audience like he did was just fantastic. I mean, Keanu Reeves is one of the coolest dudes working in the entertainment industry, so that was really awesome to see, and I completely freaked out when he came out on stage. So it was really, really awesome to get to see that. So that was great. That was the best thing about E3. One of the best things about E3 that's happened in a long time. So that was really awesome. There's a lot of games that were introduced. They showed some Doom gameplay, which I was a huge fan of as well. It was really cool getting to actually see some more of the Doom gameplay and just seeing how visceral it is, how just insane it is. Like, it was just really, really awesome to see, and it definitely gets me really excited to play that game. There's very few things that gets your testosterone going like a good Doom game. So yeah, I was really, really excited about that. There was a lot of things that happened yesterday at E3, but some of the things that I kind of see as some concerns about E3. There was hardly any gameplay showed for any games at E3. There was only a few. Like, there was Jedi Fallen Order. I believe they showed a little bit for Cyberpunk, and then Doom. Those were kind of the three games that actually showed gameplay, and that's a big problem. That is a big problem because for me, I need to see gameplay to be sold on a game. And if I don't see gameplay, then I really am not going to let myself get too excited about the game until I can actually see how it plays out. And it's fine having all these cinematic trailers and things like that. That was totally fine with me, but at the end of the day, I still need some gameplay of those games in order to get excited about them. So I wish that would kind of be a thing again. Like, it would be nice if we actually could see how these games played out, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like, even if I just see a little bit just to understand like what the gameplay is going to look like, that's totally fine with me. So it'd be nice to see that. So that was one of my biggest problems about E3, and I feel like that gameplay is becoming less and less a thing at E3. It seems like it's becoming more and more about just the cinematic style and stuff. And somebody made a really funny comment on one of my live streams yesterday when I was live streaming E3. They were like, E3 is like what did they say? Like 60% talking from the people that are coming out on stage and stuff, and then like 39% cinematic trailers, and then like 1% gameplay. And that was pretty accurate. That was pretty accurate to what E3 was like yesterday. It's a lot of talking and a lot of cinematic trailers. I mean, those things are fine, but it needs to be balanced out with gameplay. It should be like 50% those things and then like 50% gameplay or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's just a personal opinion, but that's how I feel about it. There was a lot of interesting things that Bethesda announced. There were some really cool games that Bethesda announced. There's like the time loop game. What was that called? Time loop game. What? Bethesda time loop game? Deathloop, that's it, not time loop. Deathloop. So that was a really cool looking game. I'm actually really, really interested to see more about that game. And then we had like the Elden Ring game, which is the game that George R.R. Martin is working on. Like I said, they showed a cinematic trailer type of thing for it, and that was cool. But I need to see some gameplay. I want to see some gameplay of this game, and hopefully we will see some soon. But I don't know how long that game has been in development, so it might be a while still. But as far as like what they showed in the trailer, it looks really interesting, and I'm definitely intrigued by it. But yeah, it just depends on how it plays out. If it's gonna play out like a Dark Souls type of game, then it's probably not gonna be a game for me. So we'll see. But yeah, that game looks really, really cool. We saw some more stuff for the new Halo game, which everything they showed for that was pretty cool, even though it was, again, another cinematic trailer. So that was pretty cool. We saw some more stuff for Jedi Fallen Order. which, you know, that game, it looks pretty cool. I'm actually pretty excited about that game. You know, everything that they showed in the gameplay for that was pretty cool. So, you know, that will definitely be a game that I'll pick up and at least give a shot at and stuff and see how it plays out. So, yeah, you know, those are kind of the main things. You know, there's a lot of smaller things that were announced too. I guess one of the more disappointing things about yesterday is that I was really expecting yesterday to be like Xbox's kind of redemption and stuff, because over the past few years, you know, Xbox has really been struggling to keep up with PlayStation in a lot of ways as far as their games go. And I was like, okay, Xbox is going to come out swinging this year, and I really thought that, especially when they started off their conference thing with Cyberpunk. I was like, wow, if they're starting off with this, I can't wait to see what else they're going to show here. And you know, the event continued, and they showed like tons of like small indie games and stuff and all of that. They showed like you know, they showed Halo, and that was pretty much it. And I was kind of underwhelmed by Microsoft's conference, and I was expecting it to be just mind-blowing, but it wasn't. It really wasn't. I mean, Cyberpunk was the most mind-blowing thing about Microsoft's conference, and that was right at the beginning of their conference. So, you know, I don't have a problem with these people making all these weird, like, silly cartoon animated type of weird games and stuff. Like, that's totally fine. Those like small indie games or whatever, like, those are fine. If you want to, if you're into making those, that's cool, and I'm glad that people are creating those types of games. But this is E3. It seems like you would want to show your bigger projects that you are working on, that people are actually going to care about at E3. Anyway, it seems like a lot of the people that were showing stuff at E3 yesterday were showing a lot of stuff that people just don't really care about. Like, Bethesda was showing like a huge like, there was like a huge like therapy session type of thing that they were showing in between their games and stuff. People are just like talking about like how video games have helped them and stuff, and you know, that's cool. I think that's great. But this is E3. You're supposed to be showing people games that people are going to care about. Nobody really cares that much about these therapeutic sessions that you're showing and stuff. Anyway, those are just kind of my general thoughts about E3 yesterday. I will be doing a recap of everything that's happening at E3 today as well. Hopefully we get some really cool stuff. I definitely recommend going to check out the cinematic trailer thing for Elden Ring, George R.R. Martin's new game, and then Deathloop. Deathloop looks really cool. I'm actually really interested in that game. Cyberpunk looks great. You know, Halo, Doom. So those are kind of the 5 main games that I would say go check out and see the trailers and stuff for those games, because those games look awesome. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you all very soon in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.